Welcome to the February 4th OpenZFS production user call. We have Philip, Stu, Daniel, and myself so far, and Stu is a very happy camper based on our last conversation about OpenSCAD. Any tips or tricks there, Stu?
Just like everything else, break it down into small pieces and expand from there.
Love it. And I'm glad that you found videos helpful and there happen to be ones exactly about what you needed. So, hey, great place to start. It's great to have a project. Daniel will be talking about build infrastructure and GitHub runners at the Nicebug meeting tonight. Daniel, I
Not
trust
an
Patrick,
official talk, just
not
chatting with
official.
friends about
Oh, will that be
yeah.
streamed as an unofficial thing?
No, it'll be
Okay.
unless you count the river of beer as a stream,
Ah,
then
yes.
that might count.
Well, we look forward to your executive summary in the coming weeks.
Sure.
If you didn't have too much beer and can remember what you discussed. Uh, from that discussion about them and Codeberg and GitHub Actions missing on BSDs, the word of the day is de-docker because many of those tools need to be de-dockerized. So I want to chime in with a public service announcement. I spent a few hours last night going through FreeBSD bugs relating to Beehive as I was filing ones for Beehive on ARM64. And I thought, okay, I'll move from, say, Beehive to OpenZFS to jails and then worry about other stuff. So, if anything, everyone out there listening, please review any and all bug reports you've filed over the last few decades and see if they're still valid because it's kind of not helpful to have stale reports that perhaps even don't apply or have long been fixed, et cetera, et cetera. I've heard various complaints that, hey, OpenZFS has over 1,500, just under 1,500 issues, and the project's been around long enough that some are surely out of date, but some are difficult to reproduce, some, you name it, all the things. I did a quick search for FreeBSD and OpenZFS. 15 problem reports came up, but then 253 came up for just ZFS going back to March of 2016. We can take a look at those in a sec if you like, but uh, I'm pretty darn sure some of those no longer apply. So I put on my standard user off the street hat and thought, oh, let's go look for Illumos issues and do a search for ZFS. And gee, they don't run issues through GitHub. So if
They
you
do
click the
not.
link, what's that? There he is. Hey, Andrew, how are you
Uh,
doing? So enlighten us. I was hoping you could enlighten on this very topic. I'm doing a little
oh,
PSA about bug reporting and cleaning up your old stale bugs.
I gotta look.
But point being, your average user who says, oh, they're on GitHub, let's just go to issues, and there are no issues, which is a great message that Illumos doesn't have a single flaw, but that's probably not entirely accurate. And while that was a nice clean crash for me, looking at Debian, I thought, let's just go to their reporting thing. And while you're looking up the proper
Yeah,
Illumos one,
they
my
have a
God, Debian doesn't make it easy.
they have a red mine
Redmine, okay,
instance.
great. So Debian presents you with this. How to report a bug. No, I just want to do a keyword search. Okay. Advanced information, manipulating bugs, mail servers reference card. Find a bug. Great. By number. Nope. I need text. 3 letters. That's it. Select reports by package. Well, I searched for ZFS, ZFS kernel, OpenZFS, and did various searches there. No luck. Bugs include, bugs exclude, and yeah, okay.
I believe
That made no sense to me. Go ahead, Andrew.
for Lumos, I believe that is the correct link.
Oh,
But it does
in
require
chat.
login to see it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, copy a link. I'll drop it in the doc, but let's see. And then there's also the Debian Ultimate dashboard thing I'll take a look at in just a sec. Illumos, Andrew, boom. Oh, illumos.org login. That doesn't sound very bug specific. You keep at it for there, but while you do that, I'll look at this UDD, the
No,
ultimate thingamabob.
it will it drops you into the bug reporting for
Oh, I see.
Lumosgate.
Okay. UD,
Now
is
that
that
is
it? No.
specifically Lumos, not necessarily like
Omni. Oh yeah,
OmniOS
totally. No,
or
that's cool.
I mean we have
Yeah.
different distros just like Linux does.
Sure. Totally. Copy link. Let's try this again because I just want to communicate that, hey, I'm no expert, but I'm just playing user off the street and I want to search for three letters. Oh, wait, is it not HTTP? But there it is. Okay, it launched. Um, I bet all of you know what Forky means, but that doesn't mean much to me. I'm sorry. And I don't know if it's a character from
Yes.
Toy Story, but
It's
I
a
can look it
it's a
up.
Toy Story character.
Oh, okay. I do remember like Trixie and, Andy or something or something. Filters. Yes, great. Lots of filters and contributors. And unfortunately, I still don't know where to type three letters ZFS. I did find something, and it may have resulted in something, but it doesn't have anything ZFS related. So I couldn't tell if I was successful or not. There's this massive search string I drilled into before starting, and it gave me all this. I'm like, okay, great. So I'll do search in the top right corner, because hey, libUSB has some issue. Let's do ZFS. I hope that is,
I mean
and nothing.
I guess technically you could do that, which will forward you to the same login page.
Oh, okay.
So whatever.
You've
I guess if
got,
they move it,
oh, bugs on Illumos. Well, okay. I'll put that in because it is a little more
it makes more sense.
encouraging as a place to go. Because, yeah. So there's that. Yeah, I'll just, no, no. Google is auto linking, which nope, I don't want HTTP. Thank you, Google. That's very sweet of you. So you have to like put it in there. If you do a control, oh yeah, if it's a proper URL, it will correctly auto link it. If it thinks it's a URL without HTTPS, it'll just like do HTTP. Thanks, not helpful. So thank you, Andrew, but I don't know how someone off the street who's like, oh no, I found this issue in Debian and FreeBSD. How do I check if it's in Illumos? It's like, you don't. It's from my impression from the last 25 minutes of looking at this.
It's not well accessible. You have
Hmm.
an absolutely valid point.
That is self-defeating, along with whatever the heck Debian's doing, because yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was a valid search for ZFS or if I need to look in packages for Debian, which might be a completely different repo. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a little guy. But either way,
Honest,
go ahead.
honestly, how we track bugs is one of our weaker points on the
Okay.
Illumos side.
Uh, I will super ridiculously politely say that there is room for improvement. Is that an accurate summary?
In my opinion,
Great.
others may disagree.
With all bug tracking and all tracking of anything, there's always room for improvement.
That's fair.
Yeah, ticketing,
Yep.
so
But as a user, it's like, oh, there's like nothing. Just as a person off the street, it's like, oh, you don't have bugs or don't track bugs or both. That's cool. But great. Or if it takes place at a bar in New York and that's where the discussions take place, well, so be it. But I can't help you if
That's
I find
okay.
an issue that might apply there. Just saying.
Their Garrett doesn't seem to run at all. It totally blows up on Anubis.
Hmm. Okay.
I
From,
don't know
I
what's
believe, the
going on there.
jail call, ironically, Philip, who's listening in, mentioned just, hey, what's a great place to do root on ZFS on, say, Debian? And then I got this post like earlier today. It appears that Linux root on ZFS is a hot mess, no standard way to do it, kernel recompilations or ZFS recompilations, blah, 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 blah. Debian's probably the best start. I will agree with that, which full circle to me looking at how do I find if they're Debian bugs? And so he's obviously burning his fingers on his next OpenZFS mastery book. Stu, Linux user, are we all missing something? It's really actually perfect on Debian and we're just holding it wrong?
No, it's the way the Debian kernel wants ZFS to be inserted,
Mm-hmm.
or more to the point, doesn't. It's a lot of doing the init stuff ahead of time. And honestly, I don't. I use ZFS to protect what's important, and boot drives are a dime a dozen. And it's not worth the headache when it's something that can be very easily redone at this point. Because one, I don't use compression. So I'm not looking for any of those efficiencies
Mm-hmm.
from boot level. Keep it simple at the OS and get complex in the application. That's my methodology.
But Lenovo removed dual drive support on all their laptops. There's a point you could probably have a RAID Z with 3 devices crammed in there. Oh, I miss those times. Ultra Bay and all the things.
Oh, now you just want to cause a migraine.
Got it. And of course, my Mac boots to APFS and has ZFS where it should. Okay, well, that's reasonable from a predictable perspective because I see how, yeah, you will constantly fight it. If you do a search for Proxmox and init-rd, even they're having struggles with just getting the darn thing to update and boot and survive an upgrade. Anyway.
Yep. And I can
Uh,
swap in a new drive and still see my storage stuff and change
well,
all this doesn't matter.
so on that very point, how is the out-of-the-box mirroring of boot devices in Debian insofar as I just grab an off-the-shelf VM image, splat it to a device or a VM, and it works great. But then if I want to mirror it, it's probably have a nice day. You're laughing at yourself.
You're back to MD.
Is that in 2026, one uses MD?
Still works.
Okay. And is it in any way supported by the installer?
I think the installer will do it if you do LVM. But again, I don't do LVM because that's just overhead.
Right, exactly. So do you mirror your
I,
boot devices in production
I don't have mirrored, I have replicas. So
for boot?
I've got dual boot servers that I can update one, not the other, and I maintain the configs
Okay.
between them.
This
Okay.
is that's totally usual in the VM space. Like
Hmm.
that's like, VMware, that's how many of us have done it for decades. You just you catalyze your well, I don't know if catalyze is a correct word, but
So I like that. I'll put it up with the word of the day.
You're going for two words of the day, all right?
Yeah, you win,
yeah,
man.
But no, I mean
yeah,
when you think about it, it's the same as Cloud Init. You maintain
yeah.
configs off host or virtually, and then you read them in as you're booting,
You
right?
upgrade, and you can upgrade one while the plane's flying,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then and then swap. So it's nice. It's
Well,
similar to, yeah. I kind of like that feel, which I use pre ZFS more, but but you have a nice disposable boot drive and a second one. It's sort of just the same as you do with switches and stuff these days. You have one version of the config and the other version of the config, and then you swap and upgrade the other. So you keep the downtime really minimal. Uh,
but a
Obviously
human jumps
ZFS.
in IPMI or ILO and IDRAC to choose it.
You
Well,
can do a live grub rotation.
Okay.
That's how I do.
yeah. I
Cool.
mean, boot
Whatever.
environments are nicer for sure, but
Yeah,
you can live without them. I mean, the data is where it matters
naturally.
the
Naturally.
most.
Yep. I can walk
Um,
in, plug a USB in, and still get access to the data sitting on ZFS, nothing has been lost.
This is true. Cool. Thank you for acknowledging that. Daniel, you had a question about AnyRAID. Are you using it, trying it, scared of it?
I mean, there's a Linux shop. There's some friends of. Actually, my biggest friends of Zelda is the Lunar and Planetary Laboratory, and
Wow.
so they have, obviously enormous amounts of data from telescopes and satellites and all that stuff. So they have, they use ZFS mirrors across, which is great. But then, they break down and then they replace them with something bigger, and they've got all these singles. They've got oodles of mismatched singles. So I was like, well, you can't really derate that, but you can potentially get a lot of usage out of them with AnyRAID. So that popped into my head while I was chatting with them, and that seems like like a pretty good use case for it. Like if you don't know, like you're gonna grow with it, you can specify a nice big tile size to start, and then expand from there. You can just have basically a nice big scratch space server
Hmm.
or or backups or uh, whatever doesn't matter most for performance. So that seemed like a actually a pretty halfway decent production, because I think we think of it as such a home labby kind of idea. But I was thinking about that, and then I was also thinking about, you know, uh, well, if we had Stephen on here, I'd ask him about it. But what about block storage in the cloud? For if you absolutely had to be in a VPC in the cloud, would this be a way to assist with certain types of scaling there? Um, so anyway, I was just thinking about sort of just sort of hearing anybody's ideas about what we might be doing with AnyRAID. Um, or did I cover all of it, or what?
So keep us posted. Uh, Daniel, that is perhaps the future for many, and it's exciting stuff. And I can't help but ignore, you know, Andrew, Matt Aaron's comment, like, "Hey, we probably should have done tiles from day one." That makes a lot of sense. And I
It's
do like
it's
the
neat.
notion of
It's a
friends
neat
of
idea.
Zelda. Cool. Well, for those arriving late, my PSA, public service announcement of the day, is to simply check your old issue reports and PRs and problem reports and bugs reports you've made over the years, and please see if they're still valid. Close them if they're not. Test the thing if you've got major new versions of everything. Having all these old reports lying around is not helpful for anyone involved. Anyway, other topics, questions, ideas, thoughts, requests? And silence is a perfectly valid answer. So that would
I think everybody's thinking about tax time.
yeah, I know exactly. Kind of close out the year, start out the year, do some
Let's start
planning.
vibe coding our accounting software.
I know,
Better get
right?
to
Oh
it.
God.
Yeah. And
Hey, I'm
whatever
hoping it
happened to
makes
like
mistakes.
I
Don't
was
blame me. AI told me it was right.
exactly. That's a good point right there. Yeah, what happened to affordable travel? I started searching dates and suddenly all those like, hey, Iceland cheap is a thing of the past.
Oh no.
Weird.
Well,
Um, Daniel, you've been talkative. Would you like the honors?
ah, like and subscribe.
Thank you, Daniel. Half after on the nose. Thank you, everyone. Keep the good stuff coming.
Thanks.